I'm Sher Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Bruce Lane, the CEO of GTI Energy. Bruce, it's fabulous to see you again. How are you?
I'm great, Shay. It's good to be back talking to you.
Now, Bruce, GTI Energy recently completed a scoping study pointing to the viability of the Lo Herma Project in Wyoming. Tell me, can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, Shay, we have been working towards a scoping study for the project since the conclusion of our drilling at the end of 2024. And what we've been able to establish is a really solid baseline economic model for the project that we believe points very strongly towards its future economic viability as a central processing plant. We also looked at an option as a satellite plant. But look, our favoured option of a central processing plant looks like a low capex, rapid payback project, and we modelled it at a range of prices from $60 a pound uranium through to $90. And we're very happy that comfortably at the current uranium price, it looks attractive. We haven't been able to publish the production targets and financial figures for the study. We've got 32% indicated resource in the project, and we really need to push that up a bit more to be able to publish that under the ASX listing rules and the JORC code. But look, we're on track to carry on investing in the project, and we're very encouraged by what we saw in the study.
What additional work will you be completing at the Lo Herma project in the coming months?
Yeah, the main work over the second half of the year is to upgrade some of the more of the inferred resource into the indicated category, and also to extend the overall resource at the project. So we've got exploration planned within what we've developed as Mine Unit 1 and Mine Unit 2 to increase the proportion of indicated resource, but also north of both of those mine units, we've got a fairly significant exploration target, which we'll chase in those two areas. So we think that during this summer drill program, we'll end up with a much higher proportion of indicated in the resource, and also a much larger project as well. And look, we'd like to think we could get it to that 10 million pound mark, or possibly even beyond, of total resources, and as much of that as possible as at indicated.
Now, I believe that there is a deal underway between Westinghouse and the US government in relation to nuclear power in the US. I know you keep your ear to the ground in the US. Do you have any further details that you can add to this?
Yeah, Westinghouse has the approved AP1000 design, which is the last reactor design that was built at Vogtle in the US. And they've just they're in the process of working out with the US government how to build 10 new reactors by 2030, I think, is the objective. So they're talking with the US government about getting access to the loans program that might support that. And if the US is to build large scale or gigawatt scale reactors, really the AP1000 is the only choice given the permitting of that design. So look, it's I think a very positive signal out of both Westinghouse and the US government to put solid plans, executable plans in place to build these gigawatt scale reactors. And to put that in context, one new reactor requires around 3 years of uranium supply to get them started, and they use about 500,000 pounds of uranium a year. So if you're talking about starting 10 between now and 2030, and look, I don't know how realistic that is, but it certainly indicates a lot of extra uranium needed. The other thing to note is that Diablo Canyon in California, which is the last California nuclear power station, looks like it's going to be earmarked for a 20-year extension. So once again, that's another 10 million pounds of uranium for that period of time, which isn't in most people's demand models going forward. So those two things alone are very encouraging in terms of the requirement for uranium, without talking about SMRs and other life extensions and the like. So I think it's safe to say that the resurgence in nuclear power is really well underway in the US, and very, very encouraging signs for companies like ours and the uranium producers.
Is certainly a red flag to a bull. It sounds like uranium bulls can maybe get a little bit excited about what's happening in the sector. Listen, Bruce, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thanks, Shay. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk soon.